Hey, Pastor, thank you for calling me earlier and asking me to share this testimony with you. It's one of the first times God used me, and and it was a long process. My name is Jeff, by the way, and I live in Cartersville, and I attended a good church, a good Baptist church that discipled me well, and they taught me how to have compassion for the lost and how to share my faith. And so I got to put that into practice. It was probably in 2005, I'll say. I worked for the city of Cartersville, and one of the some of my employees told me a guy was living under the bridge on Cassville Road, a state highway here in town. And although we didn't have any jurisdiction there, I was curious about the guy, so I drove out there and parked on the bridge and hiked under there, and I found a really neat camp. And I say neat, it was organized, had indoor, outdoor carpeting, a little bit of furniture, clothes, clean clothes hanging in a rack, a nice kitchen area, and a tent and a three-legged dog. And her dog food bowl was empty. So me not having any experience with homeless people and wanting to be a hero, I went to a nearby store, bought some dog food, came back, filled her bowl, and put the rest nearby. It was about 3 weeks later I had a chance to go back under there, and only this time the three-legged dog was there and a guy about my age, and we didn't get off to a good start because he pretty much scolded me right away for being the one. Oh, you're the one that brought the dog food. She had food. I have food for her, and he did because he showed me. So it was another few weeks before I got convicted to go back and keep swinging at him. So I did, and it was just a slow process, gaining Danny's trust. Missy, the three-legged dog, she always liked me, but Danny, he wasn't too sure about me, and he had experience, of course, with Christians before, maybe Christians that weren't all in. Anyway, over the period of about 3 years, I finally got him coming to church. The church I attended was nearby. It was a close walk. And Danny ended up not only attending services, became a regular attender, but the pastor would have him take up collection. And Danny, that's the kind of congregation we had there. Anyone was welcome, okay? And that's the kind of example I had from my church brothers and the staff there. So I was out of town the day Danny went to the altar and accepted Christ as his Savior, but I'm just so grateful that I had something to do with that. And probably about 2010 or 12, I ended up having the privilege to move Danny back to North Carolina to be around some of his family. He had been estranged from his family for about 20 years, and that was one of the reasons he was down here. Now he was functional. He drank some, but he worked, and he earned his way, and he had a really clean camp, and most of all now Danny's sins have been washed clean by accepting Jesus Christ as his Savior. So just know that our witness is important, and we got to practice it, because if you don't practice a good witness and walk in a way that makes you identifiable as a Christian, it's hard to help. It's hard to do kingdom work and help the kingdom grow if you're not all in. So my advice to you boys is keep listening to Pastor Dollar. He knows what he's talking about. He and I have had a lot of experiences together, both pre and post salvation, and he and I both agree it's way better with salvation. But be discipled, seek out opportunities to be discipled, and learn how to share your faith. And it's as easy as asking someone this question. In a conversation, you kind of funnel it down, and you say, hey, By the way, do you mind if I ask you a personal question? Most everyone will say, of course you can. You just ask them, in your opinion, what do you believe it takes for someone to reach heaven? And you'll basically get one of three answers. You'll get the correct answer, which we know is accept Jesus Christ as our Savior, accept his death on the cross as payment for our original sin, and believe that he was buried, rose the third day, and ascended to heaven victorious over death, hell, and the grave. However, most people are going to tell you, well, I'm a good guy. I'm a good dad. I'm a good citizen. I'm not a criminal. It's fine to be a great American, but I don't think Jesus is up in heaven saying, USA, USA. It's not that, guys. So that's the unclear answer. And like I said, that's the one you're going to get most of the time from a lost person. And then the third type of answer is the one, personally to me, that's the most sad, is when you ask someone that question and they just look in your eyes and they say, well, I don't know. See, that's when we all need to be prepared, that when we're in that stage of someone's salvation, we can go forward with a prolific word or an example or someone will trust us because they know we're different. But Danny Webb is still a blessing to me. I just talked to him day before yesterday. I go up to Asheville and visit with him every couple of months or so. He's a stage 3 cancer survivor now, so he's back in his apartment doing okay. So and he's still saved, and we'll probably get together in a month or so and probably camp somewhere up on the Blue Ridge Parkway and do some crown polishing. And if you never heard that term before, maybe Pastor Barry can explain that one to you. Thanks, Brother Barry. Thanks for trusting me with this, and I appreciate any opportunity I get to help God's kingdom grow. And it makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up that he trusts me with this, and he depends on us, and he trusts us with speaking for him and being his hands and feet, being where he needs us to be when we need to be there, and ready with a word. So you just, it's like anything else we learn, you gotta practice. You just have to practice. But take opportunities for training, and thanks y'all.